It's the 420 special over here at the Jaking Off Show. The Jaking Off Show is brought to you by my donors over at patreon.com. If you would like to become a patron, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/jakingoffshow and donate as little as $1 a month to keep the podcast going, growing, and showing. We're always going to be free to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more. Thank you guys for donating, so get ready to spark up and enjoy the show. LA is definitely not as bad as people make it out to be, but we have the benefit of distance. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
LA has
exactly.
a lot more space. Let's crack these babies open
Oh
here.
yeah, for sure. Is this some what is this?
It's
Liquid Death?
Liquid Death Mountain Water.
When did you get sponsored
Ah,
for this?
well, I had been bugging them
Yeah,
for months.
and like, what was the whole approach to like? What did you tell them? Like, did they know you
Well,
existed? Like,
well,
how?
I told them that I gave them I gave them a copy of the analytics of like my viewers and all that stuff, and it's not a lot of people, but I pitched them this idea like, look, I'm a hardcore like heavy metal type of dude, but I'm also sober,
Yeah,
and that's kind of like their whole branding, like it's just water, but it's the branding. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's kind of silly. Mm.
I mean, I thought it was
It's so
cool.
good. I think it's cool. They're not sending me checks or anything like that, but they offer me like heavy discounts on cases of water. So if you go to liquiddeath.com and type in promo code Jake, you're gonna get $2 off your order.
No, that's cool, man. Like,
And
I mean,
there's like other people that are more of like a social media influence that get like heavy sponsorships. These are people that are more popular and all that, and I'm like nowhere close to
yeah,
that.
but
But
I,
they're throwing me a bone.
as a brand though, your positioning is pretty on par, with
Hmm.
what they're trying to do. So as long as you kind of follow along those lines,
It's on point.
yeah, it's on point, right?
Ed, happy 420.
Yeah, no, it's
Happy 420, man.
thank you.
Yeah.
You too. It's one of my favorite holidays.
Uh huh.
Kind of up. I consider it a holiday, kind of up there, like along Christmas.
Hmm.
For me, it's I try to do something every year. But we're in a weird situation this year.
Yep.
It's like screw your 2020. That's kind of over.
Yeah.
Because originally I was gonna go camping, right? I was gonna take a
Camping.
couple days, go to
Oh,
Big
that's
Sur,
perfect.
yeah, and just like chill and whatnot. But stuff happens, and then I said, you know what? During these times, I'll just visit my family, go to LA.
Yeah, that's
So
that's good. Who'd have thought that the whole month of April would be 420 and that we would be spending it indoors, just not going outside, buying groceries and weed,
uh,
and that's it?
yeah, I know.
Would you
Like
believe this?
I wouldn't, because most of the time during that holiday, most people go, like, at least in San Francisco. Is that for me?
Yeah, if you want
All
to,
right, I'll
if you want,
I'll
if you want to hit,
I'll Elon Musk it.
you'll Elon Musk
I'll
it.
Elon Musk
Oh, for
it.
sure, for sure. Hmm.
We'll just say it's a cigarette.
Yeah, he didn't even inhale. If you look at that footage, like he barely like touched it. He got like a taste, like it's like a wine tasting, you
There's a
know.
wood tip on this, a flavor wood tip.
No, I think that's just a regular wood tip. I don't know. I'm more of I hadn't had flour in a long time,
Well, I
actually.
haven't. It's been a long time since I've
Hmm.
probably
Well,
since last year.
well, because of your job, right?
Kinda, and the other thing too, it's like personal choices.
Oh yeah.
I am, like I said, it is one of my favorite holidays. Um, Recreationally, what am
Hmm.
I, a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Uh, but I just decided to. I've been also very busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides the one job, I also had another job.
Yeah.
So working like full time and a part time, it's like you can't really squeeze
Two
that in.
jobs. You can't squeeze in. It's also because weed also it can be a monumental waste of time.
Oh yeah, no,
But
definitely.
it can hinder your productivity for
Yeah,
sure. Like
definitely. And you know what? You'd rather be on point, with
yeah,
certain things. So that was me kind of just making sure, because I also like to do cycles.
cycles.
Yeah, like you'll probably go on it for a little bit, and then you got too jaded, so you want to kind of like
Hmm.
step back,
Yeah.
reduce the amount, eat or stop, and then once you kind of cycle through, once you go back on, the effect will be
Yeah.
pretty.
Well, you're smart. You know, you're because when we talked on the phone about banking, is that you're treating money like it has different traits, like, and you're applying that sort of mindset to other things too,
Yeah,
in a
no,
way.
that's it.
You know,
Like,
you're very
so
smart about it.
you want to see like, is it a tool or is it not a tool? And if it is a tool, how do I use it?
Hmm.
You ever heard when George Carlin was talking about like him doing like drugs and weed?
Yeah,
He's like, I'll probably hit it once,
and then he'll
you
go to
know,
work.
and I'll go to work, and then if I need a little bit more, I'll come back to it later. You don't want
Yeah.
to overdo it, right?
I treat weed as really a treat, because I've done comedy high on stage before, and it's not good.
Uh,
It's not good. The mental catalog of thoughts
I
are
think it was,
scrambled.
yeah, no, it can definitely ruin
Hmm.
your flow. Like
For
there,
sure.
I've seen a lot of comedians talk about it, like when they got too high and they got on stage and they totally
Hmm.
bombed. I think
Yeah.
Chappelle was one of them that like
Yep.
said it. I think Joe Rogan said that too at one point.
Yeah.
There's very few comedians that can go up there and be like completely blasted and
Yeah.
then actually pull off a show, but I don't know who can.
It depends on the person, and you'd have to be doing it a long time. Like, I've seen hosts and MCs that will be fucked up on drugs and they can't get the name right. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, dude, get good first and then like ease into it.
You'd have to be like the Snoop Dogg of comedians, like
Yeah.
that's his base level the whole time. So it's
Yeah.
gonna work out no matter
A
what.
little hit, a shot or whatever it is, just to like get the blood flowing is fine, but like an entire like bong hit or a joint or a whole joint like before a show, like I just can't do it. So I'm
Oh,
I'm
so
also
you when you
nervous.
go up there, like you don't do anything.
Nothing. I
Oh,
can't
so
even.
that's you at
I
your
can't even.
purest.
Well, I don't even do a little bit because I don't think I'm good enough.
Oh,
I haven't been doing it that long.
okay,
You
yeah,
you remember when we were kids? I started when I was a teenager,
yes.
but there's a 12-year gap. There's a long gap where I wasn't doing
Why
comedy.
weren't you? Was it because you were doing the acting thing, or
Yeah,
what
there's the
was?
acting thing, and that was fun. I couldn't do both,
Mm,
the because I had to work a day job as well, and that like took out a chunk of my time as well. And with acting, it's so like it takes an army to do stuff
yeah,
with that, and with stand up, you can do that by yourself.
yeah. No, I mean, essentially with the acting thing, it has to be captured. Like definitely
Yeah,
has to be captured a certain way on like film or audio, whatever. Mostly it's on the film format.
yeah,
And you got lighting, grip, like you got camera, you got
yeah.
you got a
There's
whole crew.
there's all that stuff, and that's like auditioning and like getting the part if you get it. It's a lot of hit and miss with acting, but stand up, you can practice the craft of stand up for $5 a night. That's how much an open mic costs most
Oh, you
places.
have to pay to do
Yes, you
open
do,
mic.
but it's $5 is pocket change
Oh yeah,
compared to a commercial acting class that your agent recommended you take. That's
but
500.
that's actually a
You
cool.
know,
That's actually not bad though, because it's like okay, I'm giving you guys $5 to potentially
yeah,
have the opportunity to engage more people, and then if they like me, they might go to the next show, and then it's gonna be another $5, right? Like
yeah,
so, I mean, at least you're betting on yourself on
yeah.
the material that you're gonna do that night, and you're like, well, I just bought my ticket. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and if you book a show, you don't have to, that's a show that you booked. You don't have to buy anything. Unless it depends, because bar shows, they'll make you buy a drink anyway, because it's a business thing. You have to like get people to go to the show and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, because a lot of clubs and bar like there's like a minimum on drinks, and
Yeah,
they gotta make sure that you're gonna be performing and acting
yeah,
well
it's
to
not
make
just the
sure.
ticket price too.
Yeah,
And I used to take it personally when people would be reluctant to show up or show up at all. Is that like I know that they're not just paying the ticket price. It's also the 2 drink
yeah,
minimum. It's also parking. And if you have kids, you have to get a babysitter. And it's the food and all that stuff. So it's a night
it's a
out.
night. Yeah, no,
It's a night.
definitely. I mean, I love going out to comedy shows. I haven't been to one in a while though.
Yeah.
I actually used to go to the Flappers one a lot.
In Burbank?
Yeah,
Oh
for
yeah,
a
because you
while.
used to live around here. That's right.
Yeah, no, Flappers was awesome because like I got to meet Jimmy Dore there one time.
You met Jimmy
Yeah,
Dore there.
I actually have a photo on him on my Instagram.
Oh, nice. This is a fun fact.
That was a while ago.
I did a comedy comedy contest last May, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a contest, but the first comedian to go up to get the crowd warmed up is that a professional for these contests will actually like go up and do 10 minutes to warm up the crowd and get them like really
Get 'em
riled
hyped,
up because
yeah.
they're good. And that person was Jimmy Dore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Jimmy Dore goes up and he does 10 minutes and he's crushing. crushing. But he also like takes the political angle a lot, which like it
I mean,
depends.
that's like his bread and butter
Yeah, it's this area, so
type.
he's safe. Like everyone's kind of on the same team in LA. So he does all of his political humor and all that, and he's killing, right? He goes up, and then I have to go up. I'm following Jimmy
But
Dore, and I don't do politics. I'm a completely different flavor from him. So like they're having fun, making fun of Trump and all that stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm talking about like dating and not knowing my dad and shit. I go a little dark.
yeah, no,
It's a
that's
little
fine.
dark, and people are like, "Oh fuck, did we laugh at this? Is this okay?" And
I
I'm
mean, it's
like,
like, you can if you can get someone to connect to it, and
Mhm.
enough people understand where you're coming from
Yeah,
on that, like,
it was just such a 180,
yeah,
kind of
no.
lighthearted political humor. Until all of a sudden, like, oh, this guy in a leather jacket and a Led Zeppelin shirt's gonna fucking like
Now,
say
did
some
you
dark
pick the
stuff.
order, or was the order picked for you? Like, how that?
Originally,
How
they
did
were.
you just follow this
I was
guy?
supposed to go second, but the guy that was supposed to go first didn't show up to his own gig.
Wow.
A comic didn't show up to his own gig, so like, what the fuck? And so the person running the whole thing was like, he didn't show up, so you're gonna go first. I'm like, oh, okay.
Damn. And
Yeah, no pressure.
that's cool though. That's
Yeah,
cool though.
it was fun. It was fun. I got a couple people to go. I didn't win, but that's not about winning. It's really not about that. It's not a fucking. It's a contest, but it doesn't need to feel like a competition. Because if I'm going to be doing this for my whole life, as long as I can, this is just another show.
Yeah,
That's it.
and
Just another show.
and the thing is, it's like, look, next one could be bigger. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Oh, that's cool though. So we met the same comedian at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah. At different time. When was this?
God, I went with some buddies of mine. I want to say 2014, 2000, before I left. Yeah, before I
Oh
left
right,
LA.
yeah. Before you left LA.
Yeah, so we just went and we actually got to speak with him like outside the show. Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty funny.
It's a nice hangout spot, where people can just like relax. It's not like a big,
not,
huge
it's not.
club, Like if you want to see a famous comedian, you go to the Comedy Store.
Yeah, comedy
You
store
know,
for sure.
but-
But I think the thing is, like, it's a nice convenient spot because the mall's there too,
hmm
right? So a lot of people will they'll get good foot traffic, but
They've completely transformed their business now. Like they're
Whoa.
literally they're doing like takeout. They're doing grocery
Yeah.
deliveries now.
they
and,
gotta adapt.
Yeah, and they're improvisers. They're funny people.
Well, they have to.
They're
dude.
thinking of another angle.
I have like a person, like a client of mine, and
Mhm.
he owns like a brewery, right?
Yeah.
And he like restaurants are closed because of the whole COVID thing in San Francisco. Brewery, it's like not an essential business, so
It's beer. Of course, it's essential.
no, they'll probably keep the liquor store open, but not a brewery,
Oh,
Right.
okay, I get it now.
because liquor stores would be more of a convenience business than anything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they're probably non-essential. But the thing is, they have to improvise too. This dude, decided to put his business on like a Shopify site, whatever, and then now
Mhm.
he's just delivering it.
Himself?
Like, he's got people, like, I don't know, and I don't know if he delivers it himself, but he's delivering his beer out. He'll deliver kegs or cases
Oh.
within the city. It's like, because people do have a following for beer too.
Yeah,
right?
there's like those kinds of people that like their beards are huge. They have like, oh, this double IPA is from
Exactly.
Milwaukee, and it's like,
No, I don't know, dude, but they have to adapt too.
yeah,
Like,
you, people that run a business that to make it more essential because there's like they probably did delivery before, but not to this scale to where
No.
that's the only thing that's paying their rent for their space and all that. Like my boss at my day job, like it's all takeout and delivery
Yeah,
only.
they gotta continue producing cash, or else they'll just go
Yeah,
under, man.
but like someone's got to be there to answer the mobile orders because like Uber Eats and DoorDash, like those
Yeah.
people are still going and all that. So you got to make the stuff
which
for
brings
them.
you back to
Mhm.
to this other podcast that you did where
Uh-huh.
you were doing like virtual interviews with them or something.
Yeah, I did a Skype call with my buddy Marlon, and like it was it was experimental. Like we're not physically in front of each
Yeah.
other, and there was a little bit of a lag, and I felt like that I kept trying to dominate the conversation because I don't like pauses, and it's weird.
like
It happens online a lot.
yeah, like I tell you, like without a crowd, you can't really test the room. You can't really do your material. Which
Yeah.
you got me thinking about, like, well, you can probably do like a Zoom call with multiple people,
Hmm.
right? But then like I was like, how do you like create a virtual comedy store
Well, that's
like
another
on
thing
the
that
internet?
Flappers is doing. Flappers is using Zoom as like they do virtual shows and open mic shows and all
Yeah,
that stuff, and it's you and the other comedians and the host and you just kind of like take turns in this. And you've seen Zoom calls
yeah.
that they're like the little screens and all
Can
that
you
stuff.
see? But you can't really like see like all the members, like the crowd
You don't
people.
have to. Crowd people, oh, that's just a number that says live.
Oh, okay.
You know, you go Instagram live, it says live and then the
How
number.
many views do they get?
I don't know. I've never done it. The and I'm not ready to do it
Mm.
because the only reactions that you are getting from a virtual show are the other comedians
Yeah.
listening to
No,
you.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Like,
there's that, but
it's not the crowd.
it's not in person. It's not in person, and this is a live art form. You
Yeah,
know.
I was talking to a software buddy of mine about like how do you make like a virtual comedy store.
Hmm. It's hard.
It's hard because you need the people's reaction. It's like can we just all capture them on their webcam and put them like in a grid and stuff?
Yeah, and you might get something golden too.
Yeah.
You might get, you can't get like a heckler. You don't want a heckler, but
No.
if someone does, a comedian can bounce off of that,
Yeah, exactly.
and you can have something spontaneously hilarious happen. And that's the thing with shows, man.
Yeah, no, that's the thing with shows.
That
Like
element's gone.
just like music,
Mhm.
the artist that's performing whatever is still gonna try to mess with the crowd too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's rough. It's so your one of your jobs, the one that was kaput. What was that?
Oh, so I was working as in retail for J Crew
Uh huh.
clothing.
Clothing. Yeah.
So I don't know if you ever worked in a retail clothing
I
store.
have.
Do you know how to board fold and shit?
Board fold?
Yeah.
Oh god, I haven't done that in fucking 12, 13 years, I
Yeah.
want to say. I worked at the mall on Hazeltine
Okay.
and Riverside. It was a Gap store.
Oh, okay.
I lasted like
they
2
probably
months.
trained you though, but
Yeah.
you probably like figured out how to board fold.
I didn't last long.
No,
I was
you
there
didn't
2
give
months.
a shit if your stuff was not crispy. They're like, it's not crispy, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the manager that was running that place was like really tight about it because it's a mall. You have to like, it's all about presentation and all that. And I'm a fucking 19-year-old guy that doesn't know how to fold clothes to that level. I just don't take the attention to detail of it. If it's a little wrinkly, who gives a shit? It's like,
no, I'm like the closing shift. So basically, it's like 1 hour with customers, and then it's just
yeah,
fold the rest, right, all night till like 11.
yeah.
So like I was fine because I could just use my headphones and just fold and shit. So
Yeah, you
eventually
can tune out. You can tune
Yeah,
out.
you can tune out. So I got okay at folding clothes, but it was like
Mhm.
extra income. Yeah, dude, it was crazy because they closed the whole mall.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
of
whole
course.
mall.
That shit's
like,
done.
It's just done.
That shit, it's like fucking zombie apocalypse. Like
It is.
you can reshoot 28 days later.
Yeah, no, it was crazy because when I was working there, this was like back in like early March. Someone in that, I think it was 1 or 2 people in that building were
Mhm.
positive at that point. I was like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna close this bitch down. Like, let's just get out of here.
No chances.
No chances. And yeah, dude, we were everybody in retail was just furloughed.
That sucks. Hey, you're not alone.
No.
You're not alone. At least you got your other gig, which is nice.
Yeah,
But
that's
are you
good.
so? Are you still getting a stimulus check? Like I think
Yeah,
that you have to-
everybody pretty much gets a stimulus check. Yeah,
that's nice.
I didn't get the full amount because they like graded differently after a certain income. That's where they ask
Yeah.
for taxes.
Yeah, they want to know how much you're making. Like,
Yeah,
hey, is 1,200
exactly.
going to cut it for you? Like,
But I was like, hey man, I already worked the 2 jobs. Like, obviously, like.
You
but-
don't need it right away.
I don't need it
like,
right
'cause
away,
you know how
but-
to handle your money and just put away on the back burner. When this went down, I had $1,000 in my account. Just like fuck you money, like in case.
Oh, dude.
Just in case shit happens.
So for me, if I feel like there might be like nobody knows what's gonna happen. There could be a recession,
yeah.
or like a depression or whatever. We don't know.
Mhm.
Like shit's crazy. Like
It's very. It's up and down. It's wild. It could go really fucking bad.
there's
Really
politics
fast.
in the world, and there's just like macro macroeconomic things going on and shit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are worried about the virus, but then it's like oil prices are like crazy low now,
Yeah.
right? Which you can use as an indicator to see what can usually
Hmm.
happen with
Hey,
that.
it's $30 round trip to Vegas, but
Dude,
all the casinos are closed.
I paid like $30 or 40, less than $40 on gas to get down here,
Oh fucking A, in
and
this
I use
state.
91 octane. Like it's 309,
Oh man,
309, dude.
it's $1.25 in Oklahoma.
Wow.
It's $1.25. A lot of well, there's oil around there. They do like fracking and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
a lot of their stuff is local. That might explain it, but I'm there. Right when shit hit the fan, I was out of town when it happened, and it was hard to gauge because I was living in a smaller town. So traffic has always been light, and we go to Walmart with my cousin, and we're driving all the way over there to get some stuff, and I'm looking at the gas prices. I'm like $1.25. Holy
Dude,
fucking
if you live
shit!
in LA, that's like
Yeah,
we can get pretty pricey on gas sometimes.
I remember. Have you ever driven from LA to Vegas?
Yeah, no, I've
You stop in Barstow, and
yeah. Barstow's like in the middle though.
yeah, one summer you stop in Barstow to get gas. I saw $5 once. This was in 2013, 2014, when gas was like unreal.
Yeah.
$5 a gallon? You fucking kidding me? Like, and you got here from San Francisco to here under, would you say 40?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's one tank. You didn't even stop
Um,
because that's like a 6 hour drive, right?
so it's like a tank and a half because I top up.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I top up. The thing is like when I when I drive like I'll waste a little bit more gas than I'm used to because I'll go down all Highway 1,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great road to like drive
Uh
on
huh.
all the way down because it's all like coastal.
I've never done it. So that's Highway 1. That's a PCH, right?
It's PCH,
Yeah.
and the thing is, it's really windy and curvy. So
Yeah.
I was just chilling the whole time.
Oh, whew.
Yeah, I was doing a
Mm.
nice drive down,
And no one's going anywhere.
No one's going anywhere. It's like a good time, you know. But because you're doing a lot of winding and curving, and you
Mhm.
know the driving is completely different than the 5, which is just a straight road.
Yeah.
Right, that straight road you'll get there quickly. You'll conserve gas, but on that other windy road where you have to be a little bit more engaged with the driving experience, yeah, I'll burn up some fuel though.
And also, you can't like sightsee as much because it's pretty.
Yeah, it's
You're
pretty
driving
nice.
on the coastline,
Yeah.
and you want to go like, oh, look at the pretty
Because I like
sunset.
to
Like,
go
oh
by.
fuck.
Yeah, I like to go to like Big Sur. No, I actually did get some photos though.
Oh, nice.
Because there's like Vista points you can stop by.
Mm.
But yeah, no car. Like I got here with the, it was cheaper for me to like drive than probably take a plane at this moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big Southwest person, but $59 flights, like it's about the same thing. But
And plus the fucking airline food. Like,
yeah, no. The thing is, I don't want to be on an airplane at the moment. So
of course.
yeah.
Oh yeah. My flight back here to LA, dude. Not even shitting you. 15 people.
Wow.
15 people on the plane. It was like and you know how like the guy on the speaker, whether that's the flight attendant or the pilot, like they got jokes, You're like, so everybody's flying business class, ha ha ha, Everybody's.
What did you take?
Well, I took Southwest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I took Southwest,
'cause
and
you
there's like
can't-
15 people. People are taking naps
Everyone's
on the whole.
business class because
Yeah.
here's how Southwest works. Pretty much all the seats are the same,
Yeah.
right? So
Well, that's why he's joking.
Yeah.
He's going like, so everybody's getting extra leg room for free and all that stuff. Like, and they weren't going to serve food. It was a short flight.
it's a short flight.
But they were allowing you to
Take
get
up
the
a whole row,
get the
maybe.
food at what you bought at the airport or to go or whatever. They were being a little bit more lenient and all that stuff because there's bigger fish to fry now.
Yeah.
We're not thinking about that some guy has a bomb in his shoe or some shit. Like the TSA was really like loose, which was a little weird.
Maybe they just don't want to get up on
Yeah,
you.
well,
I don't know.
because they touch you, they search you and all that stuff, and the guy that was touching me had double gloves on, like double the fucking amount of gloves to wear, and he had like the mask on and shit, and I'm just like, wow, dude.
Do you think they just like there's a shortage of TSA people and they're just being overworked?
Well, there wasn't even that many people there. It was just a handful of people that operate the needed stuff, and there's no line.
Yeah. Did you fly into LAX or Burbank? Or...
I flew into LAX.
Okay.
It was so weird. It was the weirdest thing. I came back on a weeknight around 9 o'clock, and it's just fucking nothing. there's still like it's even though it's at night, it's still a busy city. People are
Yeah.
taking red eyes out.
Yeah, and LAX is a huge international airport.
Yeah,
Like,
and it was dead. It was really like there was like there were lifts here and there and some cabs and some buses, but that's it. There was no traffic, and that's when it hit me. It hit me late because I was in a smaller town, and I come back to LA. And I'm like, oh wow, this is actually serious.
like that's so insane though. Like as a person who grew up in LA, and you've been to LAX multiple times
Many
throughout your
times.
life growing up, like
Yeah,
picking up family or a friend
Yeah.
or just you flying on your own.
it's crowded all the time.
Yeah, I've never seen it empty then.
It was really weird.
It's whoa.
It was really fucking weird. It was almost it was almost like the fucking apocalypse. There's just no one, and they're not fucking dead. They're at home playing video games or whatever.
Oh, that's such
And there's like a
strange-
couple of people, and the guys that like the Uber drivers, they're always like these foreign dudes that like kind of don't give a fuck about what's going on. Like the driver didn't have gloves on, he didn't have a mask on, and I wasn't concerned.
Well, I don't think at that point it was such a big deal for a lot of
Yeah,
people.
because I came back on the 19th. It wasn't that big a deal yet, but I walked into
Of March, right?
March, yeah,
Okay.
last month. So I walked into the liquor store yesterday to get like some drinks, and on the door it said we're not gonna serve you if you don't have some kind of face covering.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's like they could refuse service because you're not having your face covered, which is like such a fucking backwards thing. People would normally get sketched out if you walked into a liquor store with the fucking thing on, like you're gonna rob the place.
Yeah, exactly. It's
You know?
like
It's an entire backwards like thinking now. If you want to do crime though, you'd be
you
harder,
probably
be
can do it.
harder to identify.
Yeah, exactly, because everyone's wearing masks.
Oh my god. And you work in banks and all that. Like how fucked up would that be if some guy's
Yeah.
walking into a bank
No,
and he's
exactly.
covered and you're like, oh shit, this is sketchy. But
They're
like
like-
everybody's doing it.
It's like, okay, like I can't give you this money until you take this mask off.
Yeah.
Like I got to make sure it matches the ID here.
Yeah, just take it off real quick. Don't cough, don't do nothing. Just let me see your face and
Yeah,
we're
put
good.
put a shield on or something on myself.
yeah. I saw a guy. There was a guy wearing a hoodie and he put on like a pot top.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a glass pot top, and that looked like some like 30th century shit. Because there's people who are deaf who are hard of hearing that can't see your mouth move, and there was I think a mask type of thing where you could like you could see the mouth, but that's like covered by like a clear plastic
Yeah, it's a clear
type
mask,
of thing.
so you can still
Yeah.
read your lips and stuff.
Yeah, like that'd be a little bit more easy. It's just like everyone's Batman. No, the opposite of Batman. Batman's mouth is exposed.
Yeah.
The cops need to know if he's white.
So, well, congrats on getting some sort of sponsorship.
Thank you. I get a little boost in views from it.
No, it's pretty refreshing water, I would say.
I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that that you're in town.
Yeah,
during this
yeah, like I
craziness.
said,
I
I
haven't seen you in a
can't-
while.
I can't really go to your shows, but I'll
That's
just,
okay.
I'll just help them out, especially if it's something that like you're pretty serious about, and something that you're doing. So like, pretty chill, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I also did bring some gifts of my own.
Oh, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here! Are you serious? While we're rolling, I'm kidding.
Here's your little gift there.
Oh no! Do I open it now or do I open it later?
Dude, you can open it now.
I can open it now.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Oh, you fucking now I feel like an asshole because I didn't get you anything.
no, actually, like I said, it is my favorite holiday. So
Oh, you
I
got
made a
me-
batch. I made a batch for people, and I just gave them out in
Aww.
this time of crisis. It's like,
Oh fuck.
yeah. So you can have that like later.
You made
on.
this yourself?
No, actually, like I said, I wanted to do something for 420.
Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a Fruity Pebbles
Yeah.
brownie.
And I hit up my friend Lil Rich,
Oh, we're gonna have fun with this later.
right? And I was like, hey, dude,
Whew.
like, can you just make me a batch? And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll make you a batch. So
Oh man, what? Do you know the strength? Because I'm kind of a lightweight.
He told me like 150 to 200,
150? Yeah, okay, all right.
right? He
So
made
cut it in fourths.
Yeah, he cut it in fours.
I'm a lightweight.
Yeah.
That's what's great about being a stoner.
So, I was giving it out to my friends because I basically became like a little like Santa Claus or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just delivering this little package. And I was just like, hey, have a good holiday, whatever.
Yeah.
But they asked me like who made it, and if they know this guy, Lil Rich, he's like, "Oh, Lil Rich made it. Oh, are they strong?" That's like the first question they
That's the
asked
first
me.
question.
It's like, "Oh, are they strong?" I was like, "Lil Rich made them." Oh,
Were you
okay.
worried about getting pulled over at all for like in case you had to prove that your travel was essential?
Um, I don't think like why would they pull me over if I'm doing like a long trip from San Francisco to San Francisco from LA to San
Hmm,
Francisco back, right?
that's true. But because I was hearing, if you're traveling for a non-essential reason or whatever, however you deem that necessary,
What
I don't
are they gonna
know
pull? Yeah, are they gonna pull
exactly.
every car off the road and just ask them the question
Yeah,
like, "What? Why are you around driving?"
yeah. I don't know. It's because it was an article I read.
It's like I'm going to church. What? No, they're all closed and it's Tuesday. You know, like
Yeah, for real. So like, you have to prove some kind of like documentation that you. Oh, what is it? A shopping list? Like you have to
no,
prove that you
I
have a shopping list or
actually
something.
have a letter from my employer.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
but it won't do anything down here. Like, oh, you know, it's Saturday. I don't even know if you guys are open.
So
You know,
get this shit. Let's say you're a weed delivery guy. Like that's your job. You deliver weed from door to door, and you can do that legally in the
yeah,
state of
I don't know. Is
California.
he still working? Like, have you
Yeah.
ordered
So
anything
I'm
that
a
he's?
block away from a dispensary. I
Oh,
don't
so you don't
need
need it.
to.
You
I
don't
don't.
need
I
to
could
do
just
it.
walk right there. They're still open. They
Not
still
even
do.
in these COVID times.
Even even in these COVID times,
Okay,
whether there's COVID times or not, I want to go into the weed store. I kind of don't want it delivered to my house. There's like it's an
true.
adventure, you know, because
They're essential businesses. That's
they are.
crazy.
They're making
That's
bank. They're
crazy.
making bank. So if you get pulled over by the cops and you're a weed delivery guy, and the cops pull you over, you're like, "Why are you traveling?" It's like, "Oh, I'm a weed delivery guy." So the cops see the weed and they let you go because it's essential.
It depends how much you're carrying, though.
That does
If you're
depend how much
and
you're
if you're
carrying.
also
Yeah.
using it while you're delivering it or not. You
Oh
know?
yeah. There's that too. That's why if you want to keep your job,
Yeah,
especially when everything's as crazy as it is now, you're not gonna be driving stoned to drop off pre rolls for some old
exactly.
lady. You know, it's so and they don't let you and they only let you in for like 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
Kind of like how it used to be, like a little sketchy, a little like, oh, we're only gonna have so many people in at once, that kind of thing. And I knew exactly what I was getting, so I was in and I was out. No time to
it's
ask
pretty quick.
questions because it's legal. There's people that don't know about it. They're gonna ask questions like, oh, what's an indica? What does this do?
Yeah,
Why is it called thunderfuck? Like,
yeah.
people are gonna ask questions.
So yeah, I mean,
There's no
if
time
you're
to
an
ask
ease
questions.
delivery driver, let's
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah, it's nuts, man. Have you ever seen a guy in like this is like random and out of left field, but it pertains to your gig. Have you seen a guy in like a suit? He's like $1 million, and you look at his account, and you're like, yeah,
Oh no, that's crazy.
you're
That's one of the
playing.
differences. That's a difference between like LA and San Francisco, which is
Mhm.
crazy. Like the people are completely different. But no, you'll see the person like, you know, you'll get used to see the person's got that Maserati,
The nice
nice
car, the
Maserati,
watch,
the shirt, the
yeah,
Versace or whatever,
expensive clothes.
everything, right?
hmm
Comes in, he wants a crisp $100 bill out of the account, and
hmm
it's like, first of all, you're overdrafted by a couple hundred.
Uh,
Your Maserati's late payments are gonna start like, you know,
ugh.
and your credit card is past due, and this dude is like some like living in North Hollywood with seven other motherfuckers in an apartment,
Oh no.
right? So that's a lot of that fake money life right there. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's fake broke, but they're just running the credit card. They're just
There's
running it
there's a
and
lot of people. There's
putting
like
on a
different
show.
levels of fake broke though. It's
Uh,
like but
Mine is go on, go on.
the thing that the other thing though that I noticed is like in San Francisco, right? Person comes in, shorts, flip flops, hoodie. He's got like $1 million in the bank because he's like software engineer or
Yeah.
friggin' tech person, right? And you don't know if he's the next founder of Facebook. And shorts and flip flops and a hoodie, and that's it,
Yeah,
right?
well, there's no flaunting. Like, why? Why?
Yeah, I mean there still is some, but it's a lot more chill. I'm just saying like LA has a different perspective of
hmm
people. We're a lot more visual down here of what they have and
Yeah,
what they
it's
own.
status.
It's very status. Like everyone wants to be some sort of Kardashian level here.
hmm Whereas San
So
Francisco, it's a little bit more lax on the outside vibe that you're trying to put out. Like,
kinda,
it's kinda,
kinda. I mean, there's still some elitism in here and there, but
yeah.
we're like in LA, like it's very more pertinent.
Is it, did you fuck with sports at all
What do you mean?
growing up? Like, did you watch a lot of baseball?
No,
Not really. No,
not really.
because I would hate being in San Francisco because I'm a Dodger fan.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
like
dude,
there's like the rivalry's pretty fucking
it
real
is, it
over
is. I
there.
almost got my ass kicked one
Oh no,
time.
why were you wearing a hat or
No,
something?
no, it was Halloween,
Oh no.
and um, it was Halloween, and I actually had a Dodger shirt. And every Halloween, I have to throw in like a last minute costume for whatever
Yeah,
fucking reason, right?
it's one day.
Yeah. Um, so I went in as I went in with my Dodger shirt, right? But I was like, how am I gonna play both sides on this joke here or on this
Hmm.
costume? So then I put on makeup like if I was already beat up from the parking lot.
Oh shit.
So when I would walk into the bar, they're like, wait, what's going on here? I was like, oh no, I had got beat up in the parking lot by some Giants fans and stuff. And he's like, well, yeah, I'm a Giants fan too, and I didn't get to
Yeah,
beat up on you. I was like, oh no, like, no, it's just the
it's
costume,
a
man.
joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no.
But at least at that point, it's like we understood the rivalry. Like if I,
Hmm.
met another Giants person there,
Yeah.
um,
There was a
and
there was a kid once wearing a Dodger shirt and a Giants hat. I'm like, what's wrong with you,
I mean,
man?
in San Francisco though, you'll see some people like wear some. They're from LA because they got the Dodger gear. They're
Yeah.
brave walking down the street.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think like it's that violent at all.
Hmm.
Not
And
at
those are
all.
just the meatheads.
Yeah, I mean,
Meatheads exist every town.
every town, every sport has their own
Yeah, they got
like
their own
meathead.
deal. Like there's like over there that's artsy fartsy types,
Yeah.
just like LA. Like there's hipsters and shit. And the rent is fucking crazy. Like we bitch about the rent here, and it's not like awesome, but it's even more so in San
Yeah, if
Francisco.
you live in like the city or in certain pockets of the city, the rent will definitely be high. I mean, um, I'm kind of like trying to conserve cash by like living a little bit outside of the city where it's still close enough for work.
Yeah.
So it's more in like a suburbish area.
Wait till that
Um,
earthquake hits,
I
man.
know.
Wait
You
till
know
that
what?
earthquake
If you
hits.
want to freak the shit out, freak your shit out. Watch San Andreas
Hmm.
while you're in San Francisco.
The movie San
Yeah,
Andreas.
yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
Right? Because the thing is, it's like they do a pretty good job. Like, they get all the landmarks,
The fucking bridge is
the
like
bridge,
wobbling
yeah.
and shit. Like,
And,
oh.
and here's the thing. My roommate and I worked downtown in the financial district,
Hmm.
and we put on this movie on purpose because we like that roller coaster feel.
Hmm.
So when we were watching this movie, they completely destroy like downtown financial district because they have key buildings in those shots. And one of those buildings was mine, and the other building was his. I
Ah,
was like, "Oh,
that's scary.
let's have a plan for this shit."
That's scary.
It
In
is.
in the 2012 movie, there's a shot of like a no, not 2012. The day after tomorrow.
Okay.
There's a shot where the Capitol Records building is just getting
Oh,
fucked
that
up by
is
a
true.
tornado, and my college was across the street from the Capitol Records building. So like I went back and watched that movie one night and was like, "Oh, that's what it would probably look like if that were to happen." But that's a tornado that isn't going to happen. You don't get tornadoes of that magnitude in
No,
LA
that magnitude, no.
at all. But like an earthquake and it's a shot of your building.
Yeah, earthquake. Like
It's like, "Oh, what if I was on the 50th floor when the shit's going down? Oh, I'm dead."
Have you ever seen someone that's not from like LA and it's the first time going through an earthquake?
Oh, they freak out.
They fucking freak out.
Remember the little roller? Oh man, you were way up north, so you probably didn't feel this
No,
shit at all.
we get stuff up north too. We get some. Definitely get
There
some
was
tremors.
there was one, there was like the 7.1, but it was like 3 hours inland. It was like closer to Nevada. It was like Ridgetown or
Actually,
something, some fucking small town.
I think San Francisco did feel some of that.
Because like that, there was like a 7.1, but it was way out there, and they got rocked. And we're by the coast, so we only felt like a little slow.
I saw.
roll.
Yeah, no.
We only felt a little bit. People were losing it.
There was a video of these people in Las Vegas when that happened,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in one of these like casinos, like straight up like penthouse, whatever. Thing just sways like,
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like,
Oh.
whoa.
No, I don't want to be in a fucking tall building. Like, even if it's fine and it's retrofitted and it's all good, like, I don't want to be in that fucking building. I'm gone. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
out. I don't want to be there. There's people that have, like if you see my bed, like, there's people that have shelving above their bed. Like, move that.
Yeah. It's like
Oh, is your bed by the window? Yes, move it.
You're
Move your bed. If the glass can shake, and shatter.
Oh yeah, it definitely.
Like the
has.
Northridge quake happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're sleeping, you know.
Dude,
What
I
if
was a
you're
kid when that happened.
it's one of my earliest memories too. What do you remember from it?
I remember I was a kid and everyone was like super awake because
Mm-hmm.
I just knew like why am I awake right now? Like
Yeah,
right, I'm just a kid, right? Why
yeah.
the fuck am I
I was
awake?
like 3.
And my mom told me that I almost got hit by a television.
Oh,
Fuck, dude, I was gonna get impaled by a television.
oh no.
But I didn't obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is everything like moving? Like, why are we all running out the house?
Mm-hmm.
That was my first earthquake, and I have
Yeah.
no context of like what was going on.
Well, the gravity of the situation was something that we couldn't grasp.
Yeah,
I thought we were on a train. We had just gotten back from Seattle from seeing family, and you know how trains they're a little wobbly and all that stuff. I woke up thinking that I was still on that train.
oh,
We had just gotten back from like I don't know, but pretty close to where I was confused to like, are we on a train right now? Like, and my mom's like, no, 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 come here. She grabbed me and we hid under her bed
and
for like
the
a
crazy
minute.
the crazy thing is that the Northridge earthquake is in the valley, like literally,
Yep.
like not so far from here.
Yeah.
You I think a little further south.
Yeah, yeah. Northridge is like a hop and a skip. We're in Tarzana right now.
Yeah, so anyone who lived in the valley probably felt that
Oh yeah.
throughout. Like
We were living in Studio City at the time, so it's pretty close, pretty ugly. Where were you at, Van Nuys?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, like if you ever see someone experience an earthquake for the first time, it is hilarious. Just
Oh, it's so funny.
it's like what's going on? Like
People marked themselves safe on Facebook from the little tiny earthquake that was happening 3 hours. Like, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay.
if
Like,
I want to find out information fast on an earthquake, because I'm very fascinated by like a lot of shit, and earthquake is one of them. Because like I live in earthquake country.
oh yeah, you got it, and it's worse over there because you live on fucking soil, like
Yeah.
a sand dune or
It's
whatever.
not.
It's a
San
lot of it's
Francisco-
artificially built.
Yeah, no, the San Francisco, a lot of it was built like upon like old ships that are like
Yeah.
under buildings and like
Sand,
soil.
it's
and,
very
yeah, they
soft
filled it
land
in.
over there. Yeah,
So
it's bad if you get rocked by like a big one over there.
it is, and it definitely affects like the architecture, not the architecture, but the buildings themselves. Like one of them, they didn't dig deep enough because like I said, the soil is kind of
Yeah,
shitty.
you'll flood the streets easily if you dig too deep.
Yeah, this building is like leaning, like a modern like Tower of Pizza leaning.
No
like,
thanks.
and I was like, you guys didn't think you should dig deeper down? Like, I don't know if they can get the building insured. I don't know, but
I don't know. I'm not an architect.
it's leaning a couple degrees.
Ugh.
Right?
Can you tell like if you put a basketball on the roof, it would like roll a little bit?
I don't know
like,
if it's that bad,
Uh-huh.
but anything that isn't leveled out correctly,
Mhm.
it obviously will move something.
Yeah.
I just don't know to what extent.
The way people react about earthquakes, and they've been like thankfully like tiny ones, but a lot of people I think are gonna leave, pandemic or not. A lot of people are gonna dip. There hasn't been a whole lot of like people have been coming in
Yeah.
since forever, since the 90s. Once the 94 earthquake calmed down, people were coming back in, but a lot of people left in the wake of that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about tornadoes, snowstorms, and all
Yeah.
that bullshit. But
you can prepare for those.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got weather, people, and satellite stuff. But an
Yeah.
earthquake, it's like good luck.
It can happen right
it
now.
can happen whenever.
Oh man. Ugh. I've always been lucky enough to live near parks, but I don't know where I would. I don't know where I would go if one hit
man.
right now.
I don't know.
Well, you got to make sure your gas is turned off, because the
Yeah.
pipes could rupture and a fire could break
But
out.
that's not like the first thing people think about.
Right. There's a lot of stuff like where's
They're
your
just like,
emergency
would I
kit?
grab
Like,
what I grab?
yeah.
Does everyone say how the fuck do I get out?
There's a lot of people that live in this town that wouldn't know what to do necessarily because it's been a long time, frankly, since one.
It has been, and it's just like
Yeah, bad time for one to hit now. Shit.
No, yeah, I was thinking that the other day too. It's like, okay, so 2020, what's the next step of this? Like,
Yeah. How's it get worse?
How's it get worse from here? I was thinking probably earthquake.
Yeah.
That'd
That'd be pretty bad.
Yeah, it would. And because here's the thing, like if a big earthquake would hit California is like the leading like
Yeah.
state like that produces a huge amount of GDP for the country.
Yeah.
That will definitely like hurt
That
a lot
and the
more.
panic buying would be a little bit more justified now.
Yeah.
Like at first it was the toilet paper.
It would disrupt a lot of
Mm.
distribution systems, a lot of
Oh
like,
yeah.
and the other thing too is we produce a lot of produce for the rest of the country too,
Mhm.
exclusively like almonds or like
Fruits,
fruits.
veggies, and
Yeah,
all that stuff. We
we're
got a
like
lot of farm area.
we do, and that would definitely like put a big like fu to 2020.
Ooh. Well, there was that. The longer this goes, the hurricanes are going to start coming in the summer. Like, I hope this gets solved pretty quick
Yeah,
because
I don't know,
the
man.
south is going to get rocked pretty hard too. Like this happened like at a terrible fucking time.
But let's just hope not.
Yeah, you want to hope
Um,
not, but like it's always Murphy's law.
like it was like at least give us a breather for a minute.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit more. Let's deal with this first, and then
Hmm.
we'll deal with that later. But it's like I said, it's crazy if you ever see someone freak out during an earthquake. It's the funniest thing.
Oh, I love it. I
Um,
love it. It's my
and
favorite.
then you tell them too. It's like it's not over yet. It can come back.
It can come back. There's the aftershocks. The aftershock. You could lie to them. You could embellish a little bit of the information. Like there's a small chance, that an aftershock could be twice as powerful as the other one.
I know.
So you could be fucked, son.
And then it's like San Andreas' fault.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie? It could happen. Very rare. Very rare. Might not happen at all, but it could.
And then they're like, really?
Yeah, it could. I don't know what was. Northridge was like 6 point something.
It was a good number. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly, and it was pretty. I would say it's pretty shallow, like within
Yeah.
like 25 miles or whatever. Like because when they measure these, they also measure like how deep in the ground that is,
Yeah.
right? If it's
And also
pretty,
for how long?
yeah, for how long? So if it's pretty deep, you're not really gonna, some of the energy will already dissipate,
Yeah.
right, into all this rock and shit.
Yeah, that's where you get those slow rollers.
But if it's shallower, like more closer to the surface where we're at, then
Yeah.
it's gonna,
that's ugly.
it's like a crack.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like a pop.
ugly.
It's ugly, dude.
There was footage of the '89 quake in San Francisco during the World Series, like fucking baseball games going on. And then they're like, "Do we stop playing now?" Like, and there's footage of the freeway just like completely like collapsed. Like there was a truck that was like feet away.
I'm telling
from
you,
going over.
if you live in California, if you're planning to move out here to California, for all those people,
Don't.
unless you're cool with writing out an earthquake and figuring out the survival method to
You know what
that.
to do, and you have a somewhat decent job. I mean, you can cheat. You can
It's
have
crazy.
roommates.
There's-
And, like,
Here's the thing, though. What a lot of people don't. Here's one thing that freaked me out is, before I had my current job, I used to be in architectural engineering
mhm.
as like, like a permit processor and like liaison and like
Yeah.
project management and all that. There's something called a seismic retrofit
Uh-huh.
that like the city of LA has enacted so that all these buildings are seismically retrofitted if they're like built before a certain year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buildings that are not seismically retrofitted.
Yeah.
So-
some buildings that are as old as like the '70s that haven't been.
Yeah, it's like why you'll see an apartment building like how they have that parking carport on the bottom.
Yeah.
You just
I'm so scared. I hate those buildings.
Yeah.
There's where the complex where people live is up above, and there's just like a couple of like cylinders of metal.
so all
and
these
steel.
properties have to like reinforce their like foundational, like how the building's attached to the soil and all this stuff. A seismic retrofit so it won't collapse. But it takes money to do it,
Yeah.
and so like not a lot of people will do it until like they're cited for it.
Yeah.
So a lot of these places in LA that are built around that time.
Uh-huh. We
No,
had one a couple years ago where get this dude. I don't know the legalities of it, but the landlord was charging us an extra $30 in rent to pay for the retrofitting stuff. Like she was taking out adding another $30 to our
Yeah, I
rent,
don't know
which-
about the legalities.
I don't know the legalities of
either.
it, but I got the note on my door. I'm reading it, going like, "Oh, the building's gonna get retrofitted because blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we need that. We need to have seismic
Because
retrofitting."
if they don't do it like that, they'll probably be like, they'll just increase your rent for the next year and just be like, oh, well,
Yeah, the
we
rent's
did
just
maintenance.
it's gonna go up again. Like why? Like okay, so when I write the check this time, instead of it being like $750, it's gonna be fucking
Well, that's-
85 or
yeah,
whatever
because
it is.
what they're doing is they're collecting their money faster. It's an upfront cost that they're collecting ahead of time. Like,
Yeah,
right
it's like
now.
why do I have to charge you more because you have to pay for the retrofitting because it's your building, and I don't know.
That's the thing,
I
dude.
didn't
If you're a
really.
landlord, I don't know. You're
Yeah,
a
I don't
landlord.
know. I didn't complain about it. It's like, oh, this sucks. Whatever. Um, but I'm on good terms with my landlord right now. It was kind of weird at first because she's like old and horny, um, kind of like Mrs. Robinson type of vibes.
Okay.
Like she looks at me funny and all that, and I'm like, if I was in my 40s, sure, I'd be down.
Yeah, you're
But
not even
that
30.
just the age gap is too wide, and it just creeps me out. I'm not like she's old enough to be my mom, but for rent for this coming month, she was like, give me 200, and I'm like, okay, because I'm fucked,
Oh
like my
man.
job's fucked.
If
you
she
know
makes you put out, will you? Because she's subsidizing your living
I don't
situation.
know, I don't know if it comes to that, like I might I could bite the bullet, but I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's
Okay.
just weird.
Yeah, no, no,
But the
definitely
thing is, she
understandable.
struck that deal with a lot of other people that live in the building too. Uh, not
Oh,
not the sex, not that,
okay. I was like,
but
what?
just like, okay, look, the rent is this much, and you're out of work because of COVID. Um, I need to make money too, and I talked to her about it. Like, look, I know I owe you this, but I can give you this, and she was like, okay,
Dude, it's funny. Like
and
how
I
many?
just did it cash. I didn't write the check or anything. There's a lot of material there. I just haven't found the angle on it yet.
Yeah.
I just haven't let it ferment because I made the joke once because I directly referenced the film The Graduate, and it happened to be a crowd of like young ass millennials that haven't watched a fucking
Nah.
movie
Yeah.
in
I
their
think I
lives.
saw. Yeah. I saw
Like that's a classic movie,
It's a classic, but no one's gonna go like all the way that far back probably to watch a movie like that unless they're looking for something like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
I've seen The Graduate. It was a good movie.
I love that movie.
No,
The
it
the,
was.
the part where Dustin Hoffman, like he goes to reach for the tit like awkwardly, and then she doesn't do anything, and he goes into the corner of the room. That scene,
Yeah.
he broke character. He's laughing his ass off.
He's like, I just got away
Yeah, basically, and he didn't know how to react to it. Oh my god.
with it. Hey, but she acted well.
Yeah, she did it.
She didn't break character.
It's a good fucking movie. And your parents are good. Is family's good?
Yeah, family's good. I actually took this opportunity to come down and just check up on my family.
Yeah, yeah.
My grandfather's in the hospital though, but we're praying for him, make sure he's.
It's not COVID, is it?
No,
No?
it was he had kidney issues. He's been having kidney
okay.
issues for a while.
All right.
But dude, it's crazy with this whole COVID thing. And when I lived right next to a hospital, like a huge hospital,
Tarzana
right?
Medical Center's right here,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
I hear ambulances every day. Like, oh
And-
fuck, there goes another one.
it's like it's a huge hospital, and because of the whole COVID thing, they put in some like draconian rules, like only the patient can be admitted, no one from the outside.
Yeah.
It's their, I understand what they're doing. Like I'm cool
Mhm.
with it. Just
You can't go visit.
no, not at the moment.
Yeah.
So we have to wait until he's released because the thing is they're trying to make sure that they're keeping everything out
Yeah.
and then also containing what's within.
Yeah. They
of
want
that
to treat him
hospital.
for his thing, but not have that
But
add
they're-
on to
but-
it and make it fucking worse. And then,
They're stretched or something. I don't know.
yeah.
It's crazy though. I live like near. I've always lived near a hospital.
Hmm.
Like in right now where I live near a hospital. So I'm good. If I ever get shot, either here or over there. And
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. Always lived near a hospital. I could break my leg right now.
yeah, but I don't feel like
Yeah.
that wouldn't be good to pay for. Hospitals are expensive, man.
Yeah, it's no fun. I heard a story once where someone took an Uber to the hospital rather than call the ambulance because there's like a fee if you take an ambulance.
Interesting though. Uber actually has like an emergency services like.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they have one of those.
So they're ready to have someone bleed in their car.
It's like
You know.
it's like the rental of individual like EMT vehicles or something
Mhm.
like that.
That's good.
But I don't think they'll like deal with like situations like that. I think it's more like for transport of like patients that are already in condition or
Yeah.
like body part transport or something.
If you had the virus and you didn't want to call an ambulance, would you be that Uber driver to pick up that person that's like calling
No.
in and saying like, I have
I don't-
symptoms,
I
I need
don't know,
help,
man.
Would you do it? So it's a tough question.
It's funny because
Yeah.
some Uber drivers like with that question,
Mm-hmm.
they'll avoid airports.
Yep. And
Like
that's where most of
I
the
straight
business
up,
is.
yeah, I straight up asked the Uber driver too. It's like, hey man, it took you a while to get out of Oakland. Like, are you guys, what's going on? It's like, oh, probably like people are avoiding airports.
We're just not doing it.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
not doing it. They'll pick you up, but some of them got like gloves on them, like
yeah.
everything.
My driver to LAX, not going there, and this was before the stay-at-home orders took place. My driver was wearing gloves and a mask and all that, and it was before
Because
it got
here's the
crazy.
thing.
It was on the 13th.
Here's the thing about that question that you asked me though.
Hmm.
Either an EMT or Uber driver, right? Like,
Yeah,
which one would I call? Like an ambulance? They at least know I fucking got something
they've got
on.
the equipment.
Yeah, they got the equipment, and they at least know, how to deal with it appropriately. And
Mhm.
they know. Like
Yeah.
the Uber driver, if you're like a horrible person, you'll probably not tell them you're
Oh shit!
infected.
You're the guy on the ship that's infected and doesn't tell anybody.
Exactly.
Uh,
So it depends. That question
yeah.
really has a depend
I
factor
think I
on it.
would do it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would do it because if you because I remember the vice president saying if you have symptoms and you
Yeah.
have to get treated, like you're not going to be like charged for it. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah, no, it's.
I'd take the ambulance. Like if that pertains to those conditions,
But
then
here's
I
the
don't
thing:
have to.
if I was the Uber driver,
You know.
like what I'm getting to is like, if I was the Uber driver, like what choice do I have in that situation if I don't make the decision?
Yeah.
Like if the guy never told me and I'm driving him, can you imagine? Like,
Yeah. And you're paranoid, and this is whether you have symptoms
yeah,
or not. Like there's just people that are lysoling their shit, putting plastic on the seats and all that, and disinfecting after every ride.
yeah.
You
That's why I just decided to drive down.
yeah,
I was like,
you
I
didn't
don't
want to take a
know.
plane.
No,
No, no,
no.
Plus,
Uh,
it's kind of fun. Like it's a road trip,
it is. I love doing the road
Yeah.
trip. I like doing the road trip. I've done it. I've flown. I flied before, definitely.
Hmm.
Road trip. I've taken a train.
Oh, that's fun.
That's a fun one.
Take a train,
Yeah,
like next time around. I don't know.
take like if you have time, like if you definitely have time to just like chill around like now.
Yeah, Amtrak goes through PCH, doesn't it?
It does. You
Yeah.
have to get what is the Pacific Surfliner.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of like the like awesome like scenic routes.
Oh yeah.
They stop to like Santa Barbara and they pick up people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Great thing is, I know you're sober, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you could drink on a train.
You can drink on a train, dude.
I've had beer on a train before. It's a good time.
They
I haven't
like
had a
stocked
drop
it up,
in-
and you can bring your own stuff too.
Oh yeah, they don't
Yeah.
really. You could bring your own lunch and all that stuff. You could
Yeah,
have
Exactly.
you could have vodka and a Gatorade bottle.
But like you also have time to like go on the observation deck. You go through like is it Vandenberg Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's past Ventura, and that's where like they launch like rockets and satellites and shit. It's crazy.
You want to catch that on
Yeah,
a
that'd
good
be
day.
cool if you can. I don't know if they like let. I don't.
No, well,
travel.
if the schedule was public, then like, oh, there's going to be a rocket launch on this day.
Yeah, but
then-
you just drive through that, and it's like
Mm.
very scenic. It's nice. You can bring your laptop. You can just chill. Like
I took the Surfliner down to San Diego once.
yeah, it's the surf.
Yeah, I took that all the way down to San Diego, and
We got some like ocean and beach on the way.
there's a lot of ocean, a lot of beach on the way, and they stop in Orange County, San Luis Obispo, or Laguna Beach rather, and there's no like observation deck or whatever because those are smaller stations. But you go through like Old Town and Chula Vista, and then you're like a stone's throw from the border,
Yeah,
and it's pretty there. And
Yeah.
I bet it's way prettier now because the clouds are like, the environment's cleaner. That's like a positive that came out of this.
it
You know?
is definitely like the water's a lot clearer. For
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
it's
of
like
places.
actually blue.
It is.
Oh,
No, Surfliner is cool, man. Like I've met some interesting people while I was on that.
Mhm.
You just like you can have some chill time on that. I've even met this guy who he told me like he like got a pass or something,
uh-huh.
and he's just doing it for 2 weeks from like one spot like out in the U.S. to the other,
yeah.
just to like go through a bunch of places. I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like if you have enough time to like do that,
You don't have to worry about the driving part.
No, exactly.
You could actually get work done. They've got Wi-Fi. You
Yeah,
can bring your
it's
laptop
definitely
and-
a trip. It's a nice like trip to see a couple states along the way. You know?
Mhm. these trains would have beds and stuff, right? Some of them like
Some of them you can get like cabins.
oh, that'd be killer. That would
Yeah.
just be killer. That's what I want to do when
But
this shit's over.
you have to have time. You have to have time to do it, because trains are like they're not that fast.
Yeah.
Trains are not that fast. Like especially if they're going up mountains and shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's definitely some like gravity in play for these things.
It takes like a couple days
Yeah.
to get halfway across the country.
Well, the thing that makes them fast is that they're on their own dedicated line. Like
Yeah.
there's no traffic.
Yeah.
You know the reason cars can go way faster than trains, but if you're in LA and you're driving, you're not gonna get shit.
Yeah, it takes about an hour to go from Los Angeles to Los Angeles.
Yeah,
The other side of town, pretty much.
But because trains have their own train tracks and they make other cars stop for them and shit, you know,
Yeah.
like they just have a clear path they can just go through because they're not super fast. We don't have like bullet
Yeah.
trains out here.
I'm thinking about taking like a train to Oklahoma because I'm thinking about moving there.
Yeah, yeah, you can carry stuff with you.
Yeah, but there's some things that I do want to take with me. A suitcase full of clothes, and then I want my equipment. Of course, I want this table and
Yeah.
all that. Like I want my stuff.
Well,
you know,
if the San Andreas hit though, what would you take?
if the San Andreas, ooh boy, good question. Because I do plan because I don't want to fly there because I want to get a truck and a U-Haul and just get it all in there in one trip. But if that San Andreas hits,
you know, how, like people have
go
like
around it,
3 items. You know, people
Yeah.
have the 3 items or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
what would you take with you?
Oh, well, I'd take my fucking clothes, just like a bag full of clothes.
Okay.
The essentials, the hygiene, and I guess my laptop because I have to do this. The
Yeah.
stage has already been taken away with.
I would
from me.
definitely put laptop. You know, I have my laptop here.
Yeah.
I would definitely put laptop as number 1 on those items.
San Andreas can take my home. It can take my livelihood. It's not taking my podcast. I have to do it's for my sanity. It's therapeutic because the stage is gone now. Like I don't know what to do anymore, and it's become like a productivity contest, and everyone's gonna be rusty.
Yeah. Plus, you can podcast from the road.
I can podcast from the road. I can podcast wherever. San Andreas is not going to take that away from me because all I would have to do was I don't know go around it, and maybe
at
the
the bottom
trip would
of
be
the
longer.
ocean here.
Where I'm in Arizona Bay right now. California has been broken off. That'd be a weird thing to document.
I think there was a movie that might have gotten to it. Escape from LA or something like that. Like the snake character.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Where I think part of that story plot was like California split off like that.
Well, that's what everyone's scared of. That would have to
don't-
be
I don't-
so
yeah.
extreme. I don't think that's going to happen.
That's to the super extreme.
That's too. I mean, even though we're in some crazy shit right now, who'd have thought?
I'd be like,
that this would go down.
How about the Yellowstone? Let's hear more about that over there. You
I'm
know?
more convinced that Yellowstone sounds more realistic than the San Andreas fault cracking so
I
bad
don't know, man.
that it just breaks off a piece. It wouldn't be like easy. It would be jagged. It's like cutting scissors with the opposite hand.
Yeah, I wonder how earthquake insurance works.
I don't know.
Look into that
I don't have any.
because there was a guy. Did you read the article about the guy who's like trying to get his money from like the insurance company because he's got pandemic insurance?
Pandemic insurance? Oh, come on.
They sold him pandemic insurance.
Ah.
And they said that they didn't want to cover COVID, so this guy's like suing them because he has like this restaurant chain with movie theaters.
They want to hit those doomsday preppers. That's what they go after.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's he would clearly win the case, but they're denying that because it says any variant of COVID, whatever.
You can't hold the court date anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
The court date would be delayed. My roommate actually had jury duty scheduled this month.
Yeah, that's right. How do you do jury duty?
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Guys, it's like just chilling in jail for a while. He's like, oh man, it's month 3.
It's month 3. I was supposed to be
Did
going
they
to
not
trial.
come up with a decision yet?
Yeah, well, they would. I think that person, whatever it is, would have been informed. But
I know.
I think they would stay in jail. Unfortunately, I think.
I gotta get off on death row right now.
Well, 3 meals a day.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to worry about that's the best part, right? You don't have to worry about going anywhere. They're not going to catch it.
They're stuck in jail.
Yeah.
They're gonna get infected.
Yeah.
With overrun jails and prisons. Dude.
Oh, there's that.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you get your own cell. Like, can we just do voluntary, solitary, confinement. You know, if I was
I
in
mean,
prison right now, if I was doing
by their
time,
nature, people,
uh-huh,
people who are in prison or whatever,
uh-huh.
you know, they've done something where society wants to distance them from
Yeah,
society, right? They're already socially distanced,
yeah,
right?
they're used to it.
They're the definition of socially distancing.
Oh, dude, my brother's an introvert. He plays
Right.
World of Warcraft all day. This is just another week for him.
However, if you're in jail, it's like you're still like gotta figure out how to not, you know,
Yeah, it's complicated.
it's
It's
complicated.
complicated. And we're all trying to like we're all just trying to figure it out. But you're basically working from home.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's like you think like, oh, so what is essential since you could do all
yeah,
this stuff at home, you know?
yeah. So when we come back,
It's like, why do I gotta go to the office?
right, right. So when you come
Yeah,
back to work and things go back to normal somewhat, you know, because
yeah,
it's going to happen. Businesses are now that they have another angle on how to operate.
exactly.
Are the models going to
And
change
then their
forever now?
businesses are
Like,
just gonna be like, you know what? We found
yeah,
someone that can do it cheaper and virtually.
yeah.
We don't need you anymore.
So you might have your job when this is over,
You might.
but you might, but when your hours get cut because of, you know, companies will find a new way to cut costs because these guys aren't emotional. They care about results. They don't
No,
give a fuck about you. You know.
it's crazy like how we tell everyone save 3 to 6 months of expenses and
Hmm.
make sure you can go to the longest amount of time without needing to work, you
Yeah.
know, uh, to create a safety net. But corporations, large companies, they'll whine. It's like, oh, 1 month after, you know, they want a bailout.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that all of everything that's operating, either personal or businesses, don't have that amount of money or cash reserve saved. You
Hmm.
know, it's just insane.
Yeah. We're literally
Our
on the
entire economic thing is only being able to work for a month,
yeah. And
right?
what after that?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
what's after that 1200? Andrew Yang is sitting there going like, well, guys.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
All of a sudden that $1,000 a month is starting to sound like a good
He's
idea,
got the
right?
biggest. He probably has the biggest "I told you" face right now.
Oh,
He's
for
like,
sure.
he's like, can I still be president? Like, can I come back? You know.
Yeah. All of a sudden it's a good idea,
Here's
but
the thing, though. Like, you know, you heard that Trump wanted to have those checks signed with his name,
yeah.
right?
And that's
So
why they're delayed.
here's why, though. For him, he knows he fucked up. He got caught,
He knows.
and every time he
He
gets
won't admit
caught,
it.
he'll just try to pay people off.
Mm-hmm.
Every stripper situation,
You,
he'll just pay them
he
off.
really wants to plant it in your head that he is giving you
Yeah,
the money. He's not giving you the money.
he's
It's
just
the money that he has control over because he's the president
he's trying to
now.
Stormy Daniels us right now, man.
Yeah.
And then like come like next November or whatever.
He's your sugar daddy.
Yeah, exactly. I gave you that check, you know.
Oh, that's another thing about the election is that there are primaries in some states that are delayed because of this.
Yeah, I don't.
And so like not everyone's going to want to come out and vote, and now they want to take funding away from the postal service. So voting by mail, that's another thing.
I don't know how you'll like.
They might have to delay the election.
U.S. Postal Service like delay would not fare.
If you want the election to happen and happen on time,
if your mail stopped working, you know some shit went wrong.
yeah,
Like,
something's wrong.
yeah.
If you can't, that's pretty fucking essential. So
Like you're gonna stop communication because it's still communication of some sort of way.
yeah,
You know, it's like, you know, what are you gonna tell the bank? It's like, oh, I don't want to. I can't pay for this. I got the letter late. Like it never came through
yeah.
the mail.
Well,
It's
then
like
there's vote by email.
vote
But that's
by
a dangerous
email.
thing because the last election, the whole thing was like, is our shit getting hacked? You know, making it digital would solve the problem, but that would make us vulnerable to other avenues of trouble. You know, so the election may have to. You think it would
because
get
we can't
delayed?
really vote in person. If
Yeah.
it's like okay, well, let's just make everything 6 feet apart, and then hopefully everyone follows the rules, right?
So if the election is delayed, then Donald Trump gets like extra time on his term.
I don't think he'll. I don't
You
think.
know?
I don't think he'll get delayed, or
It is an emergency.
It is an
and it
emergency.
is an election year. But would he have to stay president until this goes away, and then we delay the election?
Because
That would throw everything off.
it would throw everything off, and it is a way to control and sway like
Hmm.
future like political like you know positives on their end.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll have to figure it out.
they'll have to figure it out. Yeah.
Because voter by email would definitely be a solution, but we could get fucking hacked that way.
But here's the thing, though.
information's all
Here's
out
the
there
thing,
and
though. If he's met, like, the reason we got like Obama, for example, is because we had Bush before. Like,
Mhm.
people were like, "Oh, this isn't working out. We're gonna go the opposite on
Yeah.
this one, right?" Same thing. If he mishandled this whole situation
We're gonna want someone
the
else.
worst way possible,
Yeah,
I don't know, what the ending candidate will ever be,
Yeah.
but they'll just be like, "Oh, we're just gonna see if we can get the complete opposite of this situation."
yeah, because
with
it
this
could be
other
possible
person."
that we might be stuck with this guy until we figure it out.
But if we are,
Yeah.
and there are free elections, hopefully after, like, let's say we put a pause and a resume, and then
Mhm.
the American public has to vote.
Yeah,
Who are they gonna vote for?
yeah,
Probably like the complete opposite of the guy who got decided to wait a little too
Yeah.
long and mismanaged the whole situation.
I have some friends that are, Trump supporters. They like him, and I don't, they're still my friends and all that stuff. But even they're having like buyer's remorse. I mean, like, okay,
I
he's
mean,
not
a lot of
handling this
people,
very well,
a lot of
like,
people are.
Yeah,
See, here's the thing: like as kids, dude, we think like we're thinking the adults are in the room. The adults
Yeah.
have everything. Like we grew up in like the Clinton years,
yeah.
right? Where everything was great in the '90s.
We
right?
also were kids and we didn't have bills to pay.
exactly,
Yeah,
but we had like the Clinton years, which were like large economic expansion because of like tech and all that.
I believe the
Yeah.
first surplus or the second or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. But our political awakening and realist, like when that oh shit real moment happened, was like pretty early on than it was supposed to because of like 9/11 trauma
Yeah.
and like
9/11, the
and-
Iraq War.
yeah, exactly. And
The
we
market
were
crash in 2008.
exactly. So
Now
we
this.
we felt that for sure, dude.
Yeah.
But like now it's like we'll see what people will.
Oh, let me take it back even further. So we're born in 91.
Mhm.
Or yeah, so all right. LA. We're babies. I don't remember this at all, but the LA riots, the Northridge earthquake, fast forward, now it's 9/11. Now it's fucking Iraq war. Now it's the market crash. And now it's just like we've kind of like been through a lot. Now
Yeah.
that we think about from the time we're alive to now.
It is,
know.
and like I said though, because I feel like a lot of people around our age had a much more earlier like political awakening because we know where we were when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
right? And then we know when this like oh shit moment happened.
Yeah.
Like did you remember the day that they had to hold the elections off?
Yeah. Or another
And
like
never
where-
got your mail?
Yeah, another where were you when was like, stuff like when Kobe died and like shit like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
There's just like these little moments in life. And my roommate's a teacher, and 9/11 is being taught as a historic.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like, okay, on this day, this happened. Here's the information. And here's
I would be
we're gonna
very
do a whole 3-week subject on that, but we didn't have to.
yeah. I don't know if parents read what's in their children's like textbooks.
I don't have kids. I wouldn't know, but
I don't know if they ever like figure like I wonder what the narrative is being taught.
Like you don't tell your kids about 9/11. If they weren't there, like unless
I mean, it
they
is
watch
something
TV
that happened.
and it comes up
no,
in the news.
It is something that happened a while ago, like
almost 20 years ago.
almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it they're putting it in history books. And
Yeah,
they're
it's
teaching
it's
it to
being
kids.
it's
I
being
just
taught
want to
in a
make sure.
certain way.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what lens that's being taught through.
Well, because you've heard the conspiracies on all that. Like some of them are bullshit, and some of them kind of make you think like, well, that's possible that there could have been inside knowledge, and that it goes back to Bill Clinton and giving these guys weapons and shit like that.
I don't know if kids,
All of these decisions leading up to that point.
I think it depends on the grade level too. you know?
Yeah, because that's kind of a I'd say
it's
high
kind
school.
of a messy thing. Yeah.
high school. Like, well, my roommate teaches 4th grade, and
Okay.
the way that it's being like the way we were taught on how America was founded was kind of sugar coated. If you
Yeah.
think about it, it was very sugar coated. So
Pilgrims
I would
and the-
imagine that 9/11 would be somewhat sugar coated as well. But how do you sugarcoat 9/11? How do you explain that to like a 9-year-old?
Oh, just people
You know,
died in a building.
I mean, we were kids, and
We
it was
were.
pretty.
I knew no that like
Oh, the bodies dropping from
No, it
from
was.
from the fucking sky, like on TV,
I was like, are
live.
people gonna have like? I was like, am I going to class? Like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah. Oh, dude, my mom pulled me out of class. She called me.
people were freaking out.
She dropped me off from school. We had started. It was my first day of school, but I had started late because I had like transferred to another elementary school. And then we were in class for like an hour, and the teacher was about to like bust out the TV, and we were all gonna watch what was going down. And I was like, no, 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 you're watching this shit with me, because at the time, this is day of. We're like, okay, the Pentagon just got hit.
Oh yeah,
that
that made it super
United
serious.
93 is like, okay, where's the next town?
'Cause-
What's next?
No, like when the Pentagon is hit, that's the statement.
That's like, okay, all right, is LAX
it's a
gonna blow up?
No, it's a direct no. That just here's how psychologically like messed up it is. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
one airplane hits a tower, right?
yeah. Oh shit! What a horrible accident!
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
No. You know,
second plane, it's like, what? Wait, what's going on?
Something's off.
And then
yeah.
Pentagon gets hit, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, shit's going down.
It's a direct.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening. Like jets are scrambling and all that shit. And at that time, we're just like, okay, this could happen in Chicago. This could happen in Miami. This could happen in another place in New York. This could happen. What the fuck's going on? We don't know.
But not the WTC, man.
Yeah.
Like that was such a symbol of like
I didn't know at the time. I just like, oh, it's some tall buildings, and it was like World Trade Center. Okay, so financial, probably.
Yeah. But that was that's what led to some of it. Completely rocked the stock market the next day.
Oh yeah, and then we had to go to fucking war and respond to that,
And then that became its own.
The department.
Other story thing,
The years of that was what led to the 2008 market crash. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert. Don't fact check me. But
what I'm saying
is
it went from that incident to you're now politically aware, and then now you know all the stuff that's going on, and then now you want a different side of that coin. So when Bush is out, that's how we got.
Wait, you went to Milliken, right?
Yeah, I did.
You went to Milliken. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the mock election of 2004, where they did a mock election between Bush and Kerry?
They did a mock election?
You don't remember that? I remember that so well. We did a mock election. We did a thing where, like, I think we filled out some paper. We're like, oh, who would you vote for? Not even, like, going into the policies.
Do you think it was a think tank that wanted to see what...
It was a think tank. It was
like the kids say...
Well, it was for the kids, like, oh, we're going to explain government and how it basically works, and this is how, like, we choose our leaders and all that. But I don't think policy was covered, but, like, it was... The Iraq War was hot. It was hot, you know?
It was.
The fucking Jarhead movie came out with Jake Gyllenhaal. All these war movies were coming out. Like,
it was
hot.
Definitely capitalized from Hollywood in different angles, too.
Oh, there were American flags on every fucking car. And there were people that were saying that, like, oh, this war isn't justified, and, you know, turns out we were right.
Yeah, I mean, there's
we
different opinions on it, definitely.
We were in it. So, yeah, we had to be, like you said, politically awakened really early, because all this shit was going down when we were children, and we had to have some kind of understanding of the world.
Yeah.
No, we were like 10, 12, 13, you know, like we're going through puberty and all that fucking shit, and like we're just
but now you're like, but here's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up like in a society where shit relatively seems okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then your parents grew up when it was very uncertain as well, with nuclear bombs.
Yeah, nuclear bombs. My mom it was the duck and cover thing.
But here's the thing, like, it's the same thing. Like, how come we're not thinking of nuclear bombs? We're thinking of other shit right now.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, talk to someone that grew up in that era, like, and they're like, yeah, man, you know, it's...
Well, that's instant death.
It is.
That's just, you're gone.
But that can happen anytime, too.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, that was their biggest concern.
Yeah.
Our biggest concern is other things.
Were your parents living here?
Not during that time.
Because, like, the 70s in the U.S.,
no,
a lot of...
Not in the 70s.
They weren't here in the 70s? You're El Salvadorian?
No, I'm Mexican.
You're Mexican? I'm sorry. It's been a while, man. Since I've seen you.
Jake.
I'm fucking up.
Here's the thing, though. I did a deep dive.
A deep dive?
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of fucked up shit going on in Central America in the 70s, too.
I meant, I did a deep dive. You are a Super Bowl baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a Super Bowl baby.
How the hell would I know that?
Because my birthday is at February 6th, and that's occasionally like that's around the end of football season.
No, actually, you had it on a podcast one time.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Eddie, for listening to my
No,
podcast.
I had to do my research.
Yeah, you don't have to do any research. I
just-
didn't prep for this.
I did some research. I was like, I wonder. Here's the thing, though. I wonder what two teams. I didn't do the research that far. I just wondered what two teams were playing. Do you know what two teams were playing when you were born?
When I was born,
Yeah.
I do know that the Minnesota Twins won the World Series the year I was born.
Okay.
And oh god,
Yeah, share that with them.
were the Raiders in LA in '91? I don't know. Well, they weren't in the Super Bowl, that's for sure. I don't know. I kind of fucked off with football.
Yeah.
Ever since Michael Vick, I kind of backed off on football.
Okay.
It's like, okay, this guy's doing dogfighting rings and did time
Oh shit.
and was allowed to play again. What?
Yeah, it's
That's when I was kind of like, I'm kind of done with football. But hey, is football gonna come back? You know,
dude. There's a lot of sports right now that.
yeah. Golf might come back, but without a crowd.
Yeah,
But it's golf.
Yeah, but
There's
even
space.
then,
There's
there's
space in golf.
That's
You can
just-
bring back golf.
That's just rich people like just
Yeah.
this lawn is amazing, you know,
Yeah.
like
Baseball could come back too, but without fans. Because baseball, there's a lot of space.
Like it just depends on the type of sport too and all that.
Yeah. I mean, it's because it's heavy contact. Well, fuck the sport. There's just thousands of people that can't congregate or gather. You know, and hockey is very loud and noisy. You know, it's just not going to match.
It's not. There's
You know what I mean? It's not going to match.
it's weird if it's just like the the athletes and no audience because
Yeah.
you know I'm sure they like go off that vibe too and
Oh yeah, there's an energy.
yeah they're
You
like
know.
we gotta win for
There's
the
an
fans,
energy.
you know.
Yeah, of course. And there's little kids with posters like, "Give me a puck" or something if it's hockey. Or whatever.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
We were talking about before we got to that. We were talking about our parents growing up with the nuclear bombs
Yeah.
and shit. Like
So
we were
like I'm
talking about that.
telling you, they
And-
have a completely
Yeah.
different
They've got it too, and
different
also
mentality though.
Kennedy and Kennedy Jr. and Martin Luther King, all these like
Yeah,
assassinations.
so they have their own sets of
Yeah.
when they were politically awakened by some like
Yeah, my mom was young during the Kent State massacre.
oh okay
And that was Vietnam protests, bunch of college kids, and they got fucking shot.
wow
And that was my mom's wake up call. Like, oh, this whole thing's fucked. Like
Yeah,
the people running
exactly.
this show here are not good people, and that's the reason why my mom didn't vote for so long.
So events
She
like
didn't vote.
events like that can
Mhm.
really shape the way you see politics in America,
Yeah.
right? And so like, there's a reason why people will vote a certain way or feel a certain way or maybe decide not to vote at all,
Yeah,
right? It just depends on their political ideology. Like that was
Yeah.
formed by that.
and now
Like
we
crazy
totally
event.
don't trust the government.
So-
I could say on air, I'll go on record and tell you, like, I don't trust the
Yeah.
government right now.
So
I
I'm just
don't.
hoping like enough people see that okay, situation's been mishandled. Let's go a different direction.
Yeah,
Because
But who's-
clearly
but the other direction is Joe Biden.
I know it's like
I
yeah,
know. I don't want to get too into it, but like, that's our guy.
well, I don't
That's
know.
our guy.
It's
It's crazy. It's the lesser of two evils,
you know
but
what?
he's a familiar face.
I want to see a VP. Let me see what the VP looks like.
Oh, if the VP's
Um,
got some young guns, and
I want to see. I want to see what the VP looks like. I want to see like what the cabinet looks like.
Mhm.
I want to see, just some form of structure in the way everything's done. Like they already have teams working on it.
Yeah,
I think he's collab with Bernie at the moment
I hope
um,
so. I hope so.
because he got an endorsement.
Yeah, if he was smart, he would put Bernie on the cabinet, or have Bernie be involved in some
I'm
way.
sure they will.
I'm
sure they will because
they're
he's
also
still
really old.
He's still got to run a state, dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's
he's
still got to
still-
run a state. They got to work. They got to talk.
Yeah.
And all that. It's not just one guy. It's a team of guys. Remember when Donald Trump at the RNC was like, "I alone can fix
No,
this." I'm
no,
like,
no
it's
one's-
you and a team.
But yeah, I
You know?
want to make sure I see some sort of structure back in government, because, like I said, growing up as kids, we thought the adults were in the room the whole time, and
Yeah.
then we have that moment where the adults aren't in the room. We're like, "Oh shit, this happened,"
Yeah,
right? And clearly, they're not in the room at the moment.
They're
Like,
not in the
it's
room.
like you got into the wrong Uber driver, but he's fall asleep on the wheel, man.
yeah.
So
there are professionals, but they can't. They're not getting too much in the way. Like Dr. Fauci's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is anecdotal evidence. Like he's contradicting the president on some of his statements, but he's doing it in a way where he's not stepping on the toes of the hierarchy, you know. And there's a certain like respect of the office, but the guy running the show right now is not. He's
Well,
just rambling
you know,
and all that. It's very careful.
it's like he
He's outside of the box too. He's not a politician.
yeah,
You know.
but that's his like job. His job is because he understands the situation more than anyone else right now.
Yeah.
He can take a calm approach and just like, this is what we gotta do, right?
Yeah.
That's his job. Like, you ever seen a doctor tell someone like, like,
You have cancer, you're gonna die.
exactly.
You know?
They're gonna do it with the most calm situation
Yeah.
possible.
Because there's the emotional factor, and because he's a businessman, you've seen business people.
Yeah.
They don't react off of emotions. They react off of results.
Yeah.
You
So
know, he's a little.
he can, he's gonna the Fauci is just gonna deal with the situation a completely different way.
Yeah.
But like I said, people though, I think people are gonna deal with the situation, and try to vote for an alternative side at least to what we currently have.
Yeah.
I think that's like, people are just like, I'm done with it.
Also, you want to vote for who's going to replace Supreme Court justices when they
Yep.
die,
Yep.
and all this other stuff.
All the like, you have to kind of fix what was broken at certain places.
Mhm.
Make sure that we got to repair international like relationships. Like,
Oh yeah, those are.
completely screwed up the Paris Accord.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we've literally and figuratively isolated
like
ourselves.
the U.S. was a face to it, and now they're the. It was insane.
Yeah.
that happens, right?
Mhm.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna throw a party, but you know what? I'm not gonna go to my own party. I'm just gonna, you guys figure this shit out, right?
Yeah, it's such a what a time to be alive, man. We're gonna remember this for the rest of our lives, and people are gonna ask us like, "Oh, what did you do when all this was going down?" I was like, "Well, I stayed at home, smoked some pot, and I just went through it." You know, hopefully,
no, it's
I
true.
I really hope it doesn't get much worse from here. I don't want to bring you down. I gotta spark this thing one more time before we wrap this up.
Oh
Dude,
no, definitely.
I really liked having you on here, man.
Oh,
it was
for
really
sure.
good. It was really good to get some insight from another point of view.
Yeah,
On how this is going, and especially comedy.
Yeah, I can't. I can't really make it to your shows because like I'd have
That's
to
okay.
travel and stuff, and like even if I could, I can't now.
Yeah.
But hey, at least I'll try to support some sort of way. you
Yeah,
know?
and you're just being my friend.
Yeah,
That's
no,
all
definitely.
I need. And don't take it to heart because I do get mad about like people will tell me like, oh, we'll come to a show and then they don't show up. That's different because you live a while away from me. And,
Yeah. No, I know
you're
that.
not making promises you can't keep, but your intentions are real.
I try
And
to
and I feel
follow
you on that.
through. Like with almost everyone I try to meet, like if I try to follow through with something.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly why I'm glad this happened. You know.
Yeah. Do you have another one of these?
Yeah, it's in the fridge. I'll let you take it to go, but we're gonna wrap this up pretty quickly. But yeah, dude, shows are shows, and you show your support just by supporting. It doesn't matter whether that's a thank you or a fucking like on a status. Like I know that it's appreciated, but when you tell me that you're gonna go somewhere and then you don't show up, that's your word. You know what I mean?
The other thing too, though,
Yeah.
I don't know if you factor the LA factor into that though.
Yeah,
Because LA is very sketch when it comes to, because we have traffic and shit,
I get that.
right? So I don't know how much of it has the LA factor on
But
it.
that's not an excuse if you cared.
It's not. It definitely isn't. But
Mhm. There is no excuse when it comes to your word, you know. And there's
Yeah.
people that are flaky, and I've known that my whole life, and shit happens, you know. Oh, my girlfriend wants to hang out with me instead, or I'm doing something else, or I have to study for a test, or whatever the fuck it is. People make excuses.
very passive.
There's excuses and reasons. There we go. There you
I
go.
mean,
Spark
I don't
it
know.
every time.
I don't know what people are doing in their personal lives.
Yeah,
like,
that's
either
why-
they're
that's
either
why I
they're
don't
gonna
take it
make it or
personally.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
I try to like at least make it. Like if I have a friend's band
Mhm.
play in town, like I think I have one of my friends play in town one time.
Uh-huh.
I would go out and watch their show. I was like, hey, where are you fucking staying? Like, oh, like they drove in their car and stuff. They were on tour.
Yeah.
Dude, just stay at my house. Like, we're on
Well,
chill.
you know what would have happened if this? Let's pretend for a second that this wasn't going on, and that you were going to come down here. Were you going to come down here anyway? to like see your family and stuff? Because
Well,
it's
if
been
I
a
didn't
while.
do
Yeah.
the camping thing, like I said,
Uh huh.
which I mean, I would have to come down anyway just to see how my family's doing with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So
And if you're in town, and like I would have booked a show, I would have done an open, like, oh, come to an open mic, at least with if at the high chance that it would be just you seeing me do 5 minutes just working on
yeah,
shit
no,
at
that's
an
cool.
open mic, you wouldn't be charged or anything. You just come hang out. That's all. But like I had a friend who's very supportive, knows my mother, knows my family very well. We were tight, And like I went to his shows, we were really close, but like he totally flaked on me, and it was my 1 anniversary show, so it was like kind of important to me.
What kind of people do you meet at an open mic? Like, what are the other comedians like?
Other comics, I mean, a lot of
Do
it,
they vary?
it depends because comics are there to work and they're very serious
Yeah,
about it.
they're going to school.
and
They're
we're going
doing
to
the
school.
work,
We're here
yeah.
to learn. We're
Yeah.
not here to fucking talk and have a chit chat or whatever. I want to work on my shit and I'm gonna gauge the joke after the reaction. It's business up
Yeah,
here.
and you're seeing other people. You're in class.
Yeah,
you
you're in
know?
class.
You're
Like,
gonna learn something from another person.
I see other
performing.
comics as my coworkers and as well as my friends, but not on a tight knit. Like it's not a fucking party.
Okay.
The vibe is a party because it is a show. It's entertainment.
Exactly.
But that's not what it. I mean, to me, it doesn't feel like a party. Because I'm working.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
working.
It's like the waitress and the bartender. They're not
Yeah.
having a party.
Yeah.
They're working too.
I'm
know?
at work, and yeah, it's a club, it's a restaurant or a bar or whatever it is. Like, yeah, I'll hang out when I'm done because when I'm done with my set, I'm loose.
Okay.
I'm good. Pre-set, I am nervous as fuck. I'm anxious. I'm so fucking serious. Like, I don't even want to talk to nobody. I just want to be left alone in the corner. Leave me alone. I'm working on the mental catalog. But when I'm done, now it's a party. Now I can go have a smoke. Now I can let loose.
Interesting.
Yeah, now I can hang out for a little bit.
Like,
And
so how many people usually perform each night?
oh god, it depends. Like the Haha and NoHo.
Okay, I've been to the Haha.
The Haha and NoHo, like the open mics there are like a lot of people. So there's like the sign up starts at 5, the show starts at 6. So like anybody could show up within that hour to sign up. It could be 20, it could be 50.
That's a good location.
You might not even get to go up.
Yeah, that's a good location where they are. Because my sister told me before I came back that North Hollywood became.
Oh yeah,
gentrified, dude.
while you've been gone, NoHo got pimped out.
Right.
NoHo got. There's still like the area before you hit Arleta.
Yeah.
That area is still kind of sketchy, but like the arts district, like around
that's what they
Lancashire.
call it, the arts district,
Yeah.
right? Like so they.
Oh my God, was it not called that when you were living here last?
It was, but I remember growing up like.
No,
NoHo
yeah, for
NoHo
sure.
was not like.
NoHo did not look like that 20
Yeah,
years
exactly.
ago. NoHo is not. NoHo look, dude. The fucking shootout was in NoHo. Remember the
America
shootout?
yeah.
The February shootout? Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's ghetto as fuck, dude.
It is, dude. It so is, and it was.
It is in spots still.
But I knew when it was coming up to that like level because I told you I had a like architectural
Yeah.
and that was permitting processing and stuff, and they have like what it was called the North Hollywood redevelopment plan. There's something called planning commissions, and what they
Yeah.
do is they plan a new like area and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and my sister told me, and she's like, yeah, a lot of YouTube money's coming down there.
Yeah, Bento Box has a lot of property.
Really?
Bento Box has a large building on Lancashire and Magnolia, and all the other like content creation that's below them that all share that office space. It's right where it's right across from the Starbucks Domino's combo.
Yeah.
It's right across from there, and it's you go further down. There's acting studios and dance studios and headshot places. There's a bar called the Idle Hour, which is literally shaped like a keg.
Oh, okay.
It is shaped like a keg. You're only here one more day, right? Not that you could go anyway.
I actually
It's a bar.
I actually extended my time down here to, like I said, if now's the time to take some time off, it'd be now.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna.
I'm referring you to this place that you can't go into right now. But if you take a drive down to that area, you'll see like a literal keg, and it's called the Idle Hour. It's a bar, and there's fucking restaurants.
I've been to some spots down there.
Mhm.
Actually, when I was like, I always come down here. I always hang out with my cousins, so
Mhm.
we'll go like somewhere like that. But
there's still the Century 8 Theater is still like that's like the last place that hasn't like Coldwater and Victory like that kind of area. That's really the only place that hasn't changed a whole
Oh, I
lot.
love that
Like
spot.
the north side of NoHo is still pretty much the
Have you been
same.
to the pizza place there?
The numero uno,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes,
like the spot.
that's the spot.
That's
I
the
love that
spot.
spot because the homie Andrew lives by there, and I
Oh,
lived by there too. So that was always a good spot. That was, dude. That was back then when in movie theaters, you didn't have to. It wasn't assigned seating. It was first
yeah.
come
They
first serve.
redid that movie theater at
They
one
redid
point,
it.
though. I
They
remember.
redid it, and it was weird because I grew up in that area,
Oh,
and it was really weird, like having that technological transition, like finally come to be seen.
dude, that numero uno is still like
It's still there.
slanging good pizzas.
It's
I
not in the
had.
same building.
It's not.
They
They moved.
moved,
They
yeah,
moved.
but
Yeah.
they moved literally like just across the parking lot.
They like downsized. Like
Yeah,
they.
they
I
downsized,
don't
but
know
like
what
it's still
happened. Yeah,
dank.
it's still good.
Oh, they couldn't. I think the rent on that side was too
Too
much.
much. It's too big of a spot.
Rent, if you would, I'm not an expert, but rent I would imagine would be more expensive on a corner street than more into the street because there's not as much advertisement.
So sometimes what happens, and this happened to one of my favorite spots in San Francisco. They're
Mhm.
called the Sapphire Club.
The Sapphire Club
Yeah, and
sounds like a strip club.
no, it's not. No, it's not Sapphire. They just call it Sapphire.
Uh huh.
But it was like a bar that had like you- I'm not sure if it's Vietnamese or they had the
Burmese.
Burmese dishes,
Okay.
right? And bartenders were cool and stuff, and they had a long term lease, right? But
Mhm.
once that lease expired, they jack up the price and they can no longer afford it. Like if you've been paying the same thing for 10 years as a business,
Yeah.
your lease is expired and they jack up the price, and you don't have that as a cash reserve to pay rent, you're out.
Yeah.
So that's probably what happened on that building, but they
Probably.
decided to just like move over.
Yeah, just downsize, and so that way you keep the prices the same.
Yeah.
You still do delivery because what pizza shop wouldn't?
Pizza shops will
Yeah.
survive on delivery.
Yeah,
they already
pizza
do.
shops like although I am collecting unemployment right now, I'm actually making more money a month than I am with my regular job.
Oh,
Right. So going back to work wouldn't help. So if I like signed up to be like a stock boy at a Trader Joe's or something, I'd still be making minimum wage
yeah. I'm actually
and
making
all that.
less
Less.
because I don't have that second income.
Oh right. That's still you're still getting the stimulus check. Like you're getting fucked, but you're not like
It
getting
is, but
completely
because
fucked.
it's like, oh, you have two jobs, you're trying to make more, so we're
Yeah.
just gonna.
But I could go get a job. I could go like do my part in the community and like really
can.
like do it. But fuck that.
But so like my dad works at one of the Gilsons,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, dude, they gotta give you masks and everything because I realize people will go in the store,
And they're not getting hazard pay.
they're not.
Ugh.
I don't know how they're like. People are touching like the fruit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like I don't care if you're wearing gloves, but you're just touching the fruit.
You're touching the fruit.
But that's the thing. It's
you
so.
have to lick your hands to get the plastic shit open to put the fruit in. Like fuck that. Dude.
But here's the thing: like us as humans, we need to go to a grocery store at some point to like inspect what we're buying.
Mhm.
To the fucking T, you're like, I want that avocado, just to choose the fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
But that could just spread things around.
Yeah.
So
So when you get that avocado, you really got to pick that one up. You're just by looking at it, because you know how you got to feel them.
no, they
You
should
know?
just have like a little sticker. You touch it, you buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. The only person that can handle it is probably the stock person, and even then,
Mhm.
wearing some sort of protective gear.
That guy needs to be the expert too. He needs to give each one a squeeze, like because you pick one up and you're like, this one's not ready yet. This one, you touch a few of them before you pick
Yeah.
one, But that's those avocados are precious though.
They,
Are they just popping up there?
Yeah,
Avocados?
all over California.
All over California? It's not
All
just
over.
here.
It's
Okay,
not just here.
all right. That shit does not exist in Oklahoma.
What do you pay, like $8 for one? Or
No,
some
I mean,
shit?
you could still. I saw avocados on there, but they were fully stocked.
Oh.
Out of all of the things that are being taken, like the meat, the cheese, the bread, the toilet paper, all the things are being panic bought. But there's a fuck ton of avocados. There's also a lot of toothpaste on stock, which was weird.
Wow.
All the toilet paper's gone, but the toothpaste is fully stocked. Like, you worried about your ass?
Actually,
You should be worried about your mouth too, bro.
I got some toothpaste
You brought toothpaste
and a
with you?
toothbrush. Well, because I'm traveling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're on the
So
road. Yeah,
I'm like, fuck it. I gotta be prepared.
yeah. And,
Um,
and like ration it. Have it be like a little bit, and don't even water that boy. Do you put water on it?
Yeah, you
You
could just
fly
use,
water?
like you could just buy a water bottle or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't need to, because if you're on the road, and you don't get water in the toothpaste. It's like dry. It feels weird.
No, I like to rinse out though.
Yeah. Well,
So
duh. Yeah, you need fucking water for that shit, dude. It was fucking great having you here. We're at. I think you're the record for my longest podcast ever.
nice.
Still
Well,
under
I just
two. Still under 2 hours,
it's
but
okay if I to hang out.
no. It's good to hang out, and it's good to like not have it be so like, oh, you're worried about like, oh, you do. How do you prepare? I'm like, I do and I don't.
Yeah,
You know, we just
no,
hang out,
so-
and then it just goes by like that, and that's it, and that's that. You know, that's all it has to be. It was great having you, man.
all right.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
You have a good.